Hello, happy hump day. We've made it to Wednesday. How are y'all doing? I'm Christine. Welcome to Coffee Break with Christine. Today we are speaking with a photographer in the area. Her name is Janine. She's about to join us here. There she comes. Hi.
Hey there, how are
So
you?
good. So good to see your beautiful face. It's been too long.
Thank you, you too.
How are you? How are you holding up?
Great, great.
Good.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, we are here to highlight you and your business and your projects and all that you have going on.
Thank you.
So, why don't we start with an introduction about you and your business and kind of share a little bit about your journey to entrepreneurship?
Okay. So I have been working as a photographer for the last, I guess, 18, 19 years. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I actually studied photography the old-fashioned way, in school, in a dark room, developing and printing, which I greatly miss. And yeah, I mean, my business has evolved. I started just photographing friends, kids. Someone asked if I would photograph a baptism, a party. And then I had a really good friend. I have a really good friend who was also just getting into the event business, event planning. And, I did weddings and events, and it just kind of grew from there.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so here I am. Just I keep reinventing myself.
So you definitely don't look old enough to be a photographer of 20 years, but I guess that means that most of your career has been as an entrepreneur and being a photographer. Is that correct to say?
Yes, yes. I actually was thrown into business, not photography, at the young age of 21. I took over my
Mm-hmm.
mom's business and
Oh,
then
I didn't know that.
I found my way having nothing to do with photography.
I was
Um,
going to say,
I,
what kind of business was it?
I became an electrologist.
Oh, wow.
We had an electrolysis business, so I know a lot about hair. Um, and I, just found my way back to photography. That was always my passion. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And now 20,
Nice. That's okay. Mm-hmm.
my way back to like my original love, which is telling stories and creating and eventually traveling, and telling like untold stories. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
current path that I am getting back on.
Yeah. So tell us about your ideas or your project that you have. Well, first of all, do you want to stick with the photography and this
Whatever
is
you
in
want.
addition to?
Yeah, whatever you want. I'm open.
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, do you want to stay doing photography
Oh,
at the
yes.
same time, but
Oh,
also
yes,
you have
yes.
a second project?
Right. So, no, telling stories through my photography.
Oh, through the photography.
Visual, yeah. So more of a photojournalistic,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, yeah, path.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So what's your favorite part of your business?
I think just working with people, whether, they're young couples in love or a young family who, is just starting out, or seniors who are about to embark on, the rest of their lives. Just really like connecting with them, which of course helps me better tell their story and capture them. But yeah, just like every shoot is new and exciting, and yeah, I've been able to start looking at it more like from a kid's perspective. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. That is really cool that it's a job where every experience is new and you're not doing like the same thing over and
right,
over.
right.
And I think it's also special that you get to help tell people's stories through photography because a lot of people, they're either shy or they don't know. Oops. Are you there?
I'm going on airplane mode, so no one, I have to figure out how to do.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. I was just saying that a lot of people can be shy or not know, how to tell a story or how to tell their story. It's hard to like talk about yourself. So it's um it's a nice gift to have that you can bring out of people through photography.
Right, right. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you were doing during COVID with the project, with
Okay.
your business.
Yes. So, like everybody else, it was the first couple weeks were a little bit of a shock, but maybe like a well-needed rest and reset, recharge. And so a lot of I had seen it was not a completely original idea, but I had seen photographers across the country doing like a front porch project where they were photographing families from a distance, and some were doing it for sales, some were doing it for charity. And I was actually in the process of I was working on in the middle of Deepak Chopra's 21 Days of Abundance, and
Mm-hmm.
the day happened to be what you give back to the community, or you'll receive tenfold, and
Mm.
about charity and giving. And so it was kind of through that meditation that I connected an article that I had previously read about Feeding South Florida, and just wanting to give, wanting to contribute to the community in a way that I could. Decided to create a front porch project. I called it Portrait of Our Neighborhood.
What? So you're done? No, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stop you because I, hello? This is so
Yes.
weird. Okay, we just got our wires crossed. Like I was hearing someone having a conversation, like a man that was not here. So I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's
I
okay.
wonder if that went into the feed. Anyway, I'm sorry. Could you just repeat what you said
Okay.
because it was like a different conversation. So the
Yes,
last thing
yes.
I
We're
heard was some people were donating the proceeds. That's the last thing I
right.
heard.
Okay, so across the country, people, were doing different front porch projects and
Hmm.
donating their profits, or working in a regular capacity, as many people, the only way that they could. But it was through meditation that I came to did I get to this already, talking about I was doing Deepak Chopra's 21 Days of Abundance, and it was
Oh,
at the
hmm.
point, right, where he was talking about giving back to the community, and I was able to connect an article that I had read about Feeding South Florida to this project. And so all the proceeds for the project went to benefit directly Feeding South Florida.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, so in about 8 weeks, I think I photographed over 105 families,
Oh,
and
wow.
yes, we raised
From
over five
afar.
from afar. I stood, at the edge of the driveway, and they were in their house, or like sometimes across the street, and I was fighting traffic with a telephoto lens. And it was a lot of fun, and it was so we raised over $5,000 for Feeding South Florida.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yes, yes,
amazing.
it
You
was
didn't take
great.
anything for yourself?
No, no,
Wow.
the proceeds went directly to Feeding South Florida.
Oh,
And I
good for
think for
you.
me, yeah, for me, I mean, it was a way to stay creative, stay moving, be charitable, but also like not get stuck, as I know many have, in that like Corona, I'm stuck in my house, what am I going to do? Like the
Hmm.
pandemic panic, you know?
Yeah. It was
So,
also a way for you to get outside, but
right,
like in a safe way, which is
right.
great.
Yeah. So that's how I feel like I really gained. And it was a lot of fun. I met so many new people. And, one thing I connected with, my business over the years has become like a very high end portrait studio. And, there's a lot of people who I understand I'm not in their budget on a normal basis. And it was really nice to connect with people who wouldn't find me otherwise, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So it's kind of taken like, I've decided to implement from that, moving forward, like more of the opportunity for mini sessions, the opportunity for more people to find photography, and capturing their moments more affordable.
Oh, that's interesting. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
I didn't realize that you did it all for charity, which I just think is amazing and so selfless. I know, so I'm grateful that you included me in the 21 day meditation
yeah,
of Deepak Chopra. It also greatly benefited me during that time. I remember you and I met for coffee like right at the beginning of COVID, and we're
right.
like, this is gonna pass. Like, what do you
I,
think? It's gonna be fine. And then,
I
like,
know we'll have
four
coffee
months
in a
later,
couple weeks, right?
yeah, 4 months later, here we are. Haven't
Yeah,
seen anybody. Like,
I
so
know.
I think that's amazing that you did that, and good for you.
Thank you.
um, so yeah, so and also that you learned from it,
Yeah,
from the experience, which is
right,
great. So. Let's see. Well, I was going to ask you how COVID has affected your business, but you just
right.
shared with us how that worked. So,
Yeah, but also like events. So I do a lot of events still, and
oh,
events got postponed and postponed again,
oh,
scheduled, and
mm-hmm,
so that's going to change. But then at the same time, there's like these smaller events happening, like drive-by birthday parties and drive-through graduations and street parties. So
mm-hmm,
that's been like a shift as far as events, the event
mm-hmm.
photography.
I
Yeah.
saw it too. So I know that one of your sons was graduating, and
Yes.
also I think there was a birthday in there too, and
Yes.
you guys had like an outdoor birthday party
Right.
slash
Right.
a graduation party.
Scavenger hunts. Yes.
Scavenger hunt. Oh, that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
Got to get creative these days.
Yes, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Um, Here's something I'd like to ask. So, how do you do with marketing your business? Like, is it usually word of mouth? Do you do a lot of like Facebook ads, or what is the
Right.
main way that you get new clients as an entrepreneur?
So in the event business, it's just building relationships with event planners and people, professionals in the event industry, and then word of mouth. I think across every, whether it's portraits or seniors or babies, word of mouth. And
Mm-hmm.
then for my portraits, I do a little bit of like Facebook ads here and there, more for the seniors because it's a
Mm-hmm.
specific market.
Mm.
Um, and I'm pretty charitable with donations. So, a lot of people, a lot of my clients who have used me before will come to me. Will I donate to a silent auction?
Oh.
That type of thing. So that's, a lot of times opens up new, new groups of people that I may not have met
Mm-hmm.
otherwise. So, yeah, I think that's, word of mouth is primary.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And what is one area that you are focusing on that you're trying to improve for your business?
You mean now during, like,
Yeah,
or
just
just in general?
in general, like a goal that you have or something that you want to learn more about or that you think is important related to entrepreneurship.
Um, I mean, I'm always learning and educating myself with new like photography techniques.
Mm,
Um, Business wise, I feel like I have a marketing plan that's kind of how I've been running my business, and it's almost like I don't think about it much anymore. It just flows.
mm-hmm,
But like I said, opening up another line of like mini sessions, like um, more like more smaller sessions at a lower cost. So that's going to be a new avenue and a little bit of change. But in
Mm-hmm.
the last year, I've really focused on my own personal art. Um, and I was able to like reconnect, I think, with some feelings, and it put me back into creativity. And
That's awesome.
yeah. And so all of a sudden, like my mind's just kind of opened up. And, so Christine and I know each other through this women's co working group that we used to both be involved with, but I still am. But it also introduced me to like a lot of local artists that I hadn't known otherwise, who I found very inspiring and just kind of stimulated my own creativity. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I have to say I haven't been working on it during this pandemic as much as I would like, but the ideas are still coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just recently starting to focus on that a little more, or refocus on that. And so that's, I think, kind of the angle, like between the art and the, I think, like desire and need and reconnection with wanting to travel and tell stories. I think I'm
Mm-hmm.
bringing more of that connection to my everyday clients.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Awesome. That's great.
yeah.
What is one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's just starting out, since you've been an entrepreneur for so long? What is something that you've learned that you would pass on to someone who's just starting a business?
Any business or photography business?
Yeah, any business.
Um, I think just really study the business, um, get like familiar with the business, the lingo, the ins and outs before you put yourself out there. And then at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, put yourself out there because you kind of learn through trial and error, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think don't expect to be perfect on day one. It's taken me, I mean, I'd say 18 years in business, but I've been shooting since, high school, what I studied in college. So it's like an evolution, a process. And I can't say that I'm there yet, because there's
Mm-hmm.
always like that next goal to reach towards, like, different ways to grow um,
Mm-hmm.
within life. So, yeah, I think just, set like small goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you hit it too, saying just keep growing. Like,
Right.
especially with technology today, things are always changing. You
Yeah.
never know, the newest thing that's coming out that might help your business.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
definitely keep
appreciate you
learning.
covered. I think that's the secret to life. Keep growing.
Yes.
Business, life, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any travel plans scheduled, like with COVID? I know you were thinking of Israel
Right.
possibly this summer.
I was supposed to go on a women's trip to Israel with a group of young moms through a, a program called Momentum. And like, so many other trips, it got rescheduled.
Mm.
So I've been like dreaming, as hoping that they'll lift travel barriers soon.
Yes,
But
I'm with you, girl.
yeah, but it's out there. Like I put it out there in the universe. Like there's a story to tell somewhere that, needs a photographer like me. So hey, if you're out there and you need a photographer to come and like, I don't know if it's through a non-for-profit or something that like, word needs to get out. There's
Hmm.
probably some little country that needs water, and fundraising for water. And if there's a way
Hmm.
to bring like energy and focus to that, I'd love to do something like that. And it doesn't have to be water, obviously. It could be food,
Hmm.
resources. Yeah.
Hmm. I love that you focus on service, because it's definitely an area that I could have improved on, or even you, like with a family, and you make the time to be of service in whatever way you can, I think is
Right.
wonderful. Because there is so many people in need, and
Right.
struggling at this time.
Right.
So, one thing, as we know, is along with running your own business comes a lot of ups and downs.
Right.
So I'm curious, it's a lot of this. You can be so excited one day and the next day you're like, I'm quitting my business.
Right.
So I'm curious if you could share how you handle the ups and downs of entrepreneurship.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think just staying present while looking ahead. There
Mm.
was a time, I guess it was 10 years ago or so, 12 years ago, I can't even remember, when everyone, so digital photography first started. And I was a film photographer and got to the point where I would scan negatives so I could like manipulate them when I needed to in Photoshop. And I had to learn a whole new business when digital photography came out. But with like the start of digital photography, and I know it's like that sounds so archaic, right? But when it started, it was simultaneously photography, the digital cameras came out when the market also went down, and so many
Like
professionals,
2008-ish?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and so many professionals found themselves out of work, and they were good business, business people. And so, hey, what can I do to, and I get it, like support my family.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there was like this surge of photographers, in across the board. It was like very popular, common conversation in photography, the professional photography community. And, at that point, we had to like reinvent ourselves and say, okay, how are we going to stand out? How do you, as a professional who have, background, like stand out from everyone else? So that
Mm-hmm.
was, like not really a down, but an area where it like needed change. And, there were ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, everyday business ups and downs, but nothing that, thank God has really like, thrown me into the I don't want to do this anymore. You have
Mm-hmm.
good days where you feel really connected and you connect with your clients really well. And then you have days where, the clients you're not connecting and they're not like not listening, but they're not trusting that, you're going to do what you're there to do. So it
Mm-hmm.
creates, it's like not a down, but a more difficult shoot,
Shoot.
so yeah, just managing personalities.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I think just being flexible. I think you as a photographer or as a person, you're very easygoing, and at least me, like when we met, you made me
yeah,
feel comfortable, and which is something I think really important for photographers, because so many people go in and they're nervous and they don't know how to stand or pose
right,
or look and they
right,
want the picture to be perfect, and that must
right,
add a lot of stress to you too. Like,
yeah.
oh, I hope they like the photos,
Yeah. I
like.
try to focus on the perfection of the imperfection. Like someone, their kids' teeth are all snaggle teeth, or they have braces in their shoe, or, and I try to, like they're running away, and I just try to remind them that, like, as stressful as it might be now and in this moment, that's what they're going to look back on. And it is
Mm-hmm.
like, capturing a moment in time. So
Mm-hmm.
smile with those snaggle teeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that you do something that you're truly passionate about and that you love, because everyone does not do that. And I think especially when you run your own business, it's super important to love what you do, or you'll burn
Right.
out or get tired very
Yeah.
quickly. And you obviously, not to say that you don't want to add new things or try new things to it, but you obviously 20 years being a photographer, you
Yeah.
you love what you do, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, we are almost out of time, actually, but I wanted to ask you, I ask everybody, so what's your favorite hot drink? Or I think I know the answer, but
Coffee. Yeah.
coffee.
Cafecito or cortadito, a little
Uh-huh.
leche, no sugar. I actually left mine inside, but
That's okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, tell everybody where they can find you, and Is there anything else that, feel free to add anything else that we didn't touch upon or that you want to talk about or?
I think, I mean, I'm good. I feel complete. Yeah,
Good.
I am Janine Stone, and my website is Janine Stone Photography. On Instagram, as you can see, I'm Janine Stone Official, which is what I've been focusing more like my art posts and my personal stuff. I finally have a third Instagram account, but I'm Janine Stone Photo and Janine Stone Seniors. I love the senior, like my senior shoots, and I've been really doing obviously a lot of those lately. And with, you know, kids being out of school and graduation not being what was expected, photography has really become, you know, like just a way to capture, you know, I have a lot more senior clients this year, and I'm offering senior minis, which people are taking advantage of, which is great. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for
Thank
joining
you for
us today.
And I hope we can have a real cup of coffee soon.
Me too. I know it's been too long. And yeah, I will text you about that. And this interview will be saved on Instagram TV. And then I will also send you a YouTube link with it if you want to use it for anything else.
That's awesome. That's great.
Well, have a beautiful day, and hopefully we can meet soon.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.